This episode is brought to you by DistroKid.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode in our month-long lead-up to Less Than Jake's Summer Circus Tour. Today's guests are guitarist Tim Hildebrand and lead vocalist Brittany Luna from the Philadelphia, Pennsylvania ska punk band Catbite, who will be joining Less Than Jake, the Suicide Machines, and Fishbone on the second leg of the tour, kicking off Friday, July 25th in Phoenix, Arizona. Together, we break down the writing, recording, and inspiration behind the brand new single, Tired of Talk, taken from their 2025 album, Doom Garden. This track sounds amazing. The band perfectly straddles that fine line between pristine pop and dance and mixes it with a healthy dose of ska punk. And it didn't hurt that Patrick Stump, yes, that Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, provided lead and backing vocals to the song. And how did that happen, you ask? Well, the band cold emailed Patrick, and he not only answered back, he sent them 30 separate vocal tracks and told them to use what they want. Well, they did, and it's killer. I can't wait to hear Catbite play Tired of Talk this summer. So for all this and a whole lot more, stick around.
Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast. Hey, have you heard? Krista makes a podcast.
All right, the big question. How'd you land Patrick Stump?
Honestly, kind of easily, I would say.
Yeah, it's just the normal miracle of ska. You want to tell the story?
Yeah, so we knew that we wanted to have a feature on this specific song, Tired of Talk. And we had a couple ideas of people that we would like to have on it. And he was one of them because we had heard him for a second time on another podcast, In Defense of Ska, Aaron Carnes and Adam Davis. And so we already knew that he has this history with ska and ska music and that he's a big fan, not just of ska music, but I think Aaron told him about Catbite and like a bunch of other newer ska bands that he should listen to. And then the second time he came on, I guess he had listened to us and said that he, enjoyed our band. And so we were like, maybe we just shoot our shot. Also because he had just written like his own fresh
traditional ska song.
Ska music.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, he's in it right now. I think this is like the perfect time. We need to just like strike.
Well, he didn't just throw you guys a bone here with like singing like on the last chorus or something. Like he's featured on the track. He did the video with you. It's pretty phenomenal. And I say that because Patrick's a pretty big star here. And to get a feature like that, everyone's trying to do collaborations. I think it's really cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So much.
We were trying so hard to give him guidance. Like we had so many like ideas of what we wanted for him on the song. Mostly it was like we wanted you to kind of fill in the space in this bridge that we wrote. And he was kind of ignoring my my directions and any like me being like, hey, let me know if you want to jump on a call or anything, and just ignored us about that. But he would answer every other question. And then one day we just got an email with 32 tracks, 30 vocal tracks and 2 trumpet tracks. And he's like, sorry, I went nuts. Use whatever you want. Have fun. This song rocks. And then like that was it. We sent it to our producer and
Okay, so you answered a couple questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm hearing some horn notes in this song, but I don't hear a horn section throughout. So I'm hearing horn notes. Also, I was going to ask, did you have specific parts or direction? It sounds like he just went full buffet on you.
Yeah.
He really did, and I couldn't be. He even wrote lyrics. Yeah, he even wrote lyrics for it, which we didn't even ask him to do. But we're like, this is awesome.
I love that. Well, let's step back. You
Yeah.
mentioned producer a moment ago. Who produced the track and where was it recorded at?
So the producer is Sarah Tudson. She's in a band called Illuminati Hotties. She's an amazing producer and engineer. She recorded and mixed for us. So we flew her out. She's from LA. We flew her out to Philly. We recorded at Retro City Studios in it's in Philly, but
It's like Germantown. Yeah, it's just outside of the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she stayed at our house, and it was
She stayed right in this right
room.
here. It's her bed.
Yeah, it was really, really fun. It was a great time working with her.
Well, I love the production. I was getting asked a lot. I was doing, as a lot of us were being bored during the pandemic. I was doing any podcast. I was talking to anybody that came along just to bide my time and get through it like everybody else. And just time and time again, people would say, what's the fourth wave of ska? What's the fourth wave? And, you know, I think it's kind of what you guys are doing here on this track. It blends modern pop and dance, but with ska. You know, and the production just is massive. The bass on this, which I want to talk about in a little bit, the bass in and of itself, it sounds amazing. I still am uncertain if you were running synth bass along with bass. There's a sub bass track, and again we'll talk about it. It's really good. The production is fantastic. You guys kind of hit it out of the park.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
This is like, I think, the most fun and like experimental we've ever done or ever had with a song, with a Catbite song, and it's just so cool. I love listening to the song. Like, listening back the mixes as it came further and further along was like just awesome as hell.
And did her name's Sarah?
Sarah Tudson, yeah.
And did Sarah mix the record?
She mixed it as well, yeah. She killed it.
Wow. Yeah, it sounds awesome. Well, you guys will be joining us. Catbite will be joining the second half of the Less Than Jake Summer Circus, also featuring the Suicide Machines and Fishbone.
Yeah.
You all are starting Friday, July 25th in Phoenix and wrapping up with us in Nashville, Tennessee, doing the second leg. It's going to be awesome.
Yes.
We're really looking forward to having you, and I get to spend the summer with friends, new and old.
Yeah, we're so excited.
Thanks for having us. Like, I feel like we've been like going so close to doing shows together for the past like 3 or 4 years. It's like almost happened like 4 or 5 times, and then finally it's like the most intense, insane ska tour of the year, of the century, of
A bunch of legends, and then us.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, all the fans have been super excited so far. Little overview before we jump into the track. You guys formed 2018 in Philadelphia. Your first self-titled album came out in 2019. Second album, Nice One, was released in 2021. And Tired of Talk, the track we're going to break down today featuring Patrick Stump, is from your 6-track album, Doom Garden, which is out now. It's the second track on the album. And the video's great. The animation that you put together with that. Animation's not cheap. Who did you get to do that? It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
We really lucked out. We have a good friend, Sam Grinberg. He's a New Jersey ska kid that now lives out in LA and actually works for The Simpsons. He's a character developer for The Simpsons.
Oh, geez.
And so he does all this like really cool animation. And we've worked with him on different like just regular merch stuff and flyers and stuff. And he even did like this little short video that he hired us to write a 30-second like little ska clip for. So we have this great relationship with him, and we knew that we wanted to do some sort of awesome music video for this that somehow included Patrick Stump, but obviously we're not in the same room, not in the same city. So we wanted to like have him do some green screen stuff, but not make it boring. So we just thought, let's do animation. We hit up Sam, and I hit him up really late. He put that whole thing together in about 2 months, and then we just like got together with our friend Jack and did a bunch of green screen stuff, and then we just slapped it all together, and it got finished about 3 hours before the video was put onto YouTube. And
it's a pretty advantageous project. I mean, you had the animation, you're banking on getting Patrick and some good footage. You have no idea probably what he's going to send you, but it looks like everything worked out great.
Yeah, we're really happy with it.
Yeah, so happy and so thankful that Sam put that together. He told us, when we gave him the idea and it was like 2 months before we needed it, he was like, a 30-minute Simpsons clip takes about a year. And we were like, oh, okay. Well, what can you do for us? And then it was like freaking amazing when we got what he sent us.
Yeah.
It looks killer.
Incredible.
And you would have to have most bands would have to have a friend hook up to get something put together that cool, and it makes sense. He works for The Simpsons.
Yeah.
looks absolutely incredible. I want to jump in to Tired of Talk. It's 3 minutes and 18 seconds, and again, I just want to talk about the production. I think it's awesome. I think that Sarah's gonna be going places. It sounds so thick and good. It straddles that line of modern pop and dance with ska. 3 minutes and 18 seconds. The intro's a lone guitar by itself with a ton of reverb and tremolo that sets the mood before the vocals hit.
I'm so tired of the talk. Spinning round and
I'm so tired of that vocal's panned kind of left and right, and then it becomes more centered, like a lead vocal when the drums, bass, guitar, and is that a piano at the top hammering with talk?
It's definitely. I think it might be an electric piano. Like I don't know what did Kaylee use? I think she used some sort of like just kind of going through the rhythms, like kind of going along with the guitar. I think she used some sort of electric piano or keyboard.
It sounded like piano, but I didn't know if Patrick was getting that trumpet in there already off the top. It didn't sound like it. It sounds like a keyboard.
Yeah, it's just keyboard.
Well, it's really cool. Right after the last talk, the band stops and we get a little guitar ditty that happens. And also we get a woo panned off left.
That's Patrick.
That's Patrick. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not peg that for Patrick. I also wrote in my notes here that little guitar hook, and it's a hook in this song. It has a little bit of a Kiss by Prince vibes.
Ooh,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll take that.
Okay. And when I first heard it, I was like, that's what made me go, okay, there's a little bit more than just a ska band under the hood. This is dancey. It's got that disco-y dance kind of guitar. Sounds great. And again, I just kind of did a general overview of verb and tremolo, but it just sounds massive. Like there's a ton of room on it. Sounds really good.
Yeah. I mean, I think this whole song, the rhythm guitar, I used my Rickenbacker, which is my normal Rickenbacker 360, and then I used for most of the rhythm in all of the whole EP. It's the Rickenbacker and like a Les Paul. Just Gibson Les Paul, kind of doing the same thing. One's a little bit more treble and a little bit more attack, and the other one's just like full and big. And I just do that the whole way. And I use my Dan Electro Spring King reverb is like my signature always on guitar tone. And that's just like I've gone through 4 of them because I break them so badly because they have the actual springs in the pedal, and I've been using them for I think like 14 years at this point, and it's just like that's my sound, and it sounds so freaking cool because it has like that natural I don't know,
attack.
Tinny,
Well, I
yeah,
don't know if you're going to say that there's an attack on it, but
Mm-hmm.
it sounds really big. And when you're one guitar player in a band, especially recorded, you want to sound big. And how do you achieve that? But you definitely did here. It sounds awesome. Right after we get that woo, which I love that was Patrick.
Yeah.
He just kind of did that off the cuff.
just threw that in there.
I wanted it to even be like more pronounced.
I think that was like our only regret with the mix is like that should be up a little bit more.
But I think it works pretty good because you hear just a little woo in the back, and you're like, oh.
yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Kind of perks your ears up a little bit.
spinning round and round, hang your words from the clothesline. Wring them out to dry, they've been used for the last time. I'm switching through each cycle, the temperature's been set high. Wring them out to dry, they've been used for the last time.
round and round hang your words from the clothesline. Wring 'em out to dry, they've been used for the last time. I'm switching through each cycle, your temperature's been set high. Wring 'em out to dry, they've been used for the last time.
Originally, I think the meaning of this song has kind of taken on its own form, but originally when I was writing this, it was my way of letting off steam. Honestly, when Tim and I had gotten into a fight, and he calls it a diss track, but it's just about basically like hearing the words "I'm sorry," but with like nothing behind it. So I would, we would get into a fight and he would say, "I'm sorry." And I'm like, "I don't believe you. Like, they're just words. I'm so tired of hearing just the words. Like, put something behind it." I love you. I love you.
No, I'll tell
You guys are making me smile ear to ear because I've often wondered, and I've never asked my dear friends and interrupters. Kevin and Amy are married. I've never asked. I've stayed back. I've kept my distance. But wow, being in a band with your significant other, that has to present its challenges.
Yes, for sure. And we travel together. We work on the band so closely together. Like,
we also like lead the band. Like we just started working with management like about a year ago, but like we tour manage the band. We up until a year ago we managed the band. Like, she does the accounting, I do all like the other paperwork stuff, and so it's like we are doing all of that together. But it's the greatest thing ever, it's so freaking cool.
Yeah, it's great to be able to do it together because this is both what we love and like it's what we want our careers to be, what our career is, and but like I'm still a human that needs to like express myself. And how do I do that? I do it through music, and it just happens to be so that me and my husband are in the same freaking band. So yeah, I just had to, I was like, are you going to be upset if I tell people that this is a diss track?
No, I was the one that's saying it's a diss track. You said it's not.
Yeah, but
I like it.
But
though.
yeah,
I think it's cool.
that's it. It's like hearing those words and just like, I'm so tired of hearing those same words over and over. Like, they've been used up. There's nothing left. I don't want to hear them anymore.
I'll tell you something that surprised me a little bit, and I don't. This isn't a negative thing at all. I really think the line's cool, but it's interesting that "Wring 'em out to dry, they've been used for the last time" is in the first verse twice. It's a great line. I thought maybe later on it would come in back in the bridges. I think it's that great of a line. Interesting, you only used it twice here, and why did you use it again in the first verse?
I don't know. I don't
just
know.
sang good?
I think it just felt right. Yeah.
I ask those weird questions. People are like, probably look at me going, well, why does it matter, dude? It's just a verse. But okay. So some really cool things that are happening here. And before we get into those, I just want to talk about the bass. Again, it's huge. It's got this subtone to it. It's got a little bit of distortion on it. It's growly, but it's punchy. It's defined. You can hear everything that's going on. How was that put together? And was that the sound as it went to mix? How much did Sarah have to do with that?
Yeah, so this is the first time that we used a 5-string, and then Ben, our bass player, he's just freaking phenomenal bass player. He also, I think he just doubled it with a synth. Just like very low. So he's basically he's playing the 5-string through like I'm not even really sure what he was playing it through. It might have just been like through a Sansamp, and then he was playing the synth, just doubling up the bass with some crazy crunchy coolness. Because originally there was gonna be no bass guitar. It was just gonna be like synth driven and like a little bit more. And then he kind of came up with that very minimal, very cool like, reggae like dub where it's there's less is more, and it just hits so freaking hard. And yeah, I don't really know if like Sarah did too much in post.
It sounds like a singular thought and a singular track, but I was certain there was more going on here than just a bass, because it just sounds absolutely incredible. And what Ben did with the matching up with the synth is fantastic. On the first line, close line, we get a ping pong starting left and right, the echo on the line, which, by the way, again, the vocal treatment in this song's fantastic. if I truly wanted to break down every nuance, there's so much going on vocally before we even get Patrick in there with what you guys have done, that to try to break down everything, there's a lot. But second line here in verse 1, they've been used for the last time. On time, there's this overall kind of ambient echo. On the third line, we get our first true harmonies in the song on switching through each cycle. Your temperature's been set high. And those are also when some backing vocal call and response vocals come in. Set high. It's been set high. Is that Patrick there?
That's Patrick.
That is Patrick.
That was,
is.
yeah. So the echoey thing, that was his idea. We didn't have those when we originally recorded the song because we kind of like recorded almost a full song and left the bridge kind of open for him. So that was like his first addition to the song, was adding this cool little. The last time.
No,
It's so cool.
It is so cool, but there is so much going on in this song.
Yeah.
And again, that's not a negative. It's almost like some of this stuff you'd save for maybe, let's put that in the second verse. But it's like, wow, there's a ton going off here right off the top. Also on that third line, this is where it sounds like there's a horn note or two at the end of line 3 on those call and responses from Patrick. Is that where he might have stuck in a horn note there?
No.
There's only 2 measures of horn in the whole song.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear some high pitch, and you know what's crazy? Especially having horns in my band, sometimes with certain delays, vocal delays, pre-delays, you'll get what sounds like, and if you just solo the vocal, it'll be like a squeak that you swear is a horn or something.
Yeah.
So who knows what that could be there. Again, drums, bass, and guitar are all present here in verse 1. Bass tone is absolutely killer. And on the last line, Ring On to Dry, they've been used for the last time. We get those backing vocal call and responses again, and it's just this time for the last time. And then we get a little 6-note guitar run overdub that takes us into chorus 1. Let's talk about that a little bit. I love little things like that. Was that on overdub day? We're gonna noodle some stuff.
Yes, definitely. This is this song, of all the songs on the EP, this was the least finished when we came into the studio, and we just had which, you know, we kind of like doing a little bit of both. We like to bring a full song to the studio. We like to bring a not at all, and this was like not at all. Like, we had just wrote this song right before we went to the studio, and we had just a very simple bare bones garage band demo, and then we practiced it kind of once to get an arrangement with the band, and then it was just like, everyone just like bring ideas to the studio and just let's have a lot of fun on this, because it's, like I said, this is very experimental for Catbite. And so like we, you know, I think we were just kind of tracking like something, like Brit was up tracking vocals or something, and just like, you know, the song's on repeat, and we're all just kind of like noodling, doing stuff while it was tracking. It's just, it was kind of like a nod to the old like 60s Jamaican kind of Lynn Tate style thing, where it's like kind of picky, kind of like, you know, I really like that style of guitar playing where it's like the octave-y stuff and like the guitar sticking, and like,
it's not flashy, look at me, it just fits the part.
Exactly. And it's like, especially when they use it to bring one part of the song to another, that's kind of what it was. It just felt, you know, little ditty.
Gotcha. Well,
yeah.
I love it. That takes a little ditty takes us right into chorus 1. I'm so tired of the talk of the talk. Talk. I'm so tired of the talk of the talk.
Yeah, I mean, hearing it back now, so I always am in my head about whether you say a word too many times, and like hearing it read like that, I'm like, oh my god, like, I should have wrote something else. But in the song, I think it fits fine. But yeah, I think that this song can relate to also like the way that we came to an idea with Sam about in the video, how like just kind of like the mundane of everyday life can be like a very overwhelming and taxing feeling. And just like being a human every day, going through life can be just a little frustrating sometimes that you're just kind of over it and you wish that you could just zap yourself or zap somebody out of it.
Well, talk's a weird word too when you say it that many times, and there's an immediacy to this chorus. I feel like if you were to go play the song live, you get the guy back there, in the back, he's kind of going rah 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 rah, and he's rocking along because it is super catchy, and you're tired of the talk.
Yeah,
that's basically what you're saying here, and I think that that is certainly relatable. We get harmonies on everything here in the chorus. I think I'm hearing Patrick in there.
Yes.
Obviously, Brittany's in there. Anybody else in the band singing on the track? Any of the backups?
I think Ben did
a little bit
background
on this song.
Yeah.
Was he the low male voice in verse 2, or is that Patrick?
No, that's
that's
Patrick.
Patrick, yeah.
I think
okay.
there's ooze in the
that Ben did. Me and Ben did.
Those were in the verses, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only part, because you do the harmonies, you do your main melody, and then you did harmony on top of that, especially in the chorus. And we might have taken some out when Patrick gave all of his 30 tracks of vocals, because we had a lot more Brit harmonies on top of Brit main melodies.
Yeah.
So we took some of those out and replaced them with Patrick. But yeah, I think there's only the ooze. We have the lower Ben, or Ben doing the lower.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can totally relate to what you just said. It's like a puzzle you're putting together. You got all of Brit's vocals stacked nicely. It's like, well, wait a second, we got to get Patrick in here. It's not working with that vocal. Now we got to pull that one out and push back in. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, we got lots more with Brit and Tim from Catbite coming right up after a few words from our sponsors.
Get your saddest songs together and get ready for a decidedly not sad time at Sad Song Summer Camp, July 15th through the 18th at Full Moon Resort in the Catskills. Join the Milk Carton Kids, Joe Henry, Paper Wings, and more for an unforgettable musical experience just 2.5 hours from New York City. Whether you're a songwriter or a fan, this all-inclusive retreat offers immersive classes, performances, and the chance to step beyond backstage. Every participant gets hands-on time with the artists to fine-tune their songwriting, plus immersive classes and evening performances in a stunning mountain setting. Spots are extremely limited. Learn more and register now at www.sadsongsummercamp.com/DeMakes.
Hey guitar lovers, what if I told you that this fall you could escape to the Catskills and spend 4 days learning from the greatest Telecaster players on the planet? Introducing Masters of the Telecaster, happening September 29th through October 3rd at the beautiful Full Moon Resort in Big Indian, New York, just 2.5 hours from New York City. You'll get up close and personal with guitar legends like Guthrie Trapp, Larry Campbell, G.E. Smith, Carolyn Wonderland, Cindy Cash Dollar, and many more. These icons have played with everyone from Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson to Norah Jones and Mick Jagger. It's an all-inclusive, once-in-a-lifetime music vacation featuring world-class instruction, gourmet meals, gorgeous accommodations, and jam sessions in the heart of the Catskills. And no, you don't need to own a Telecaster to come. All skill levels are welcome, and scholarships are available through Music Masters Collective. Space is extremely limited, so grab your spot now. mastersoftetelecaster.org/the500. Once again, that's mastersoftetelecaster.org/the500. I'll see you there. I might go.
Looking to elevate your music career? DistroKid is a digital music distribution service that enables musicians to distribute their music to online stores and streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon, Tidal, and many more. DistroKid collects earnings and payments, sending them to you, the artist. With DistroKid, artists unlock a world of possibilities. From easily paying collaborators with splits, to securing your music with DistroLock, DistroKid covers all bases. Plus, you can promote your releases with Hyperfollow and create eye-catching visuals with the Spotify Canvas generator, all for free. But that's not all. Introducing the DistroKid app, now available on iOS and Android. Artists can manage their releases, view streaming stats, and withdraw earnings, all from the palm of their hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. With its simple interface and customizable mastering options, artists can make their music sound polished and professional within minutes. And don't forget about Instant Share, DistroKid's newest feature. Share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more, ensuring your music streams at the highest quality. Ready to take your music to the next level? Download the DistroKid app and explore their suite of tools today. Plus, listeners can enjoy 30% off their first year by visiting distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes. That's distrokid.com/VIP/DeMakes.
Hey there, travelers. Kaylee Cuoco here. Sorry to interrupt your music, great artist BT Dubs, but wouldn't you rather be there to hear it live? With Priceline, you can get out of your dreams and into your dream concert. They've got millions of travel deals to get you to that festival, gig, rave, sound bath, or sonic experience you've been dreaming of. Download the Priceline app today, and you can save up to 60% off hotels and up to 50% off flights. So don't just dream about that trip. Book it with Priceline.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. From streaming to shopping, Prime helps you get more out of your passions. So whether you're a fan of true crime or prefer a nail-biting novel from time to time, with services like Prime Video, Amazon Music, and fast free delivery, Prime makes it easy to get more out of whatever you're into or getting into. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to learn more.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Hey everyone, Chris DeMakes here, and I've got some exciting news. Chris DeMakes a Podcast is now on Patreon. Your support is what keeps this show going, allowing us to bring you deep dives into amazing songs from incredible artists every week. When you join our Patreon at chrisdemakes.com, you'll get instant access to hundreds of episodes of The After Party, our weekly bonus show where producer Chris Fafalius and I talk music history, trivia, tour stories, classic albums, and whatever else comes to mind. Plus, you'll get early ad-free episodes of Krista Makes a Podcast, unedited video versions of each episode, and, of course, a brand new episode of The After Party every single week. If our show brings you a little joy, help us keep it going strong for just a couple bucks a month at chrisdemakes.com. Not ready to commit? No problem. You can sign up for a free membership while you decide. Thanks so much, everyone, and I hope to see you all at The After Party.
And now, back to the show.
And to chorus one, we get the kiss. We get the guitar again. I love that. I think that's cool. And
my mom likes it a lot too. Like when
Okay.
I showed her the song, like she usually she's like whatever with my music. Always like
Yeah.
she's been very indifferent. She's been supportive, but like not like that's great. We showed her Tired of Talk right when we had the final masters because she was in town, and she wouldn't shut up about that. How cool it was.
you've really straddled the line of, in my opinion, producing something that, yeah, it's ska, but it doesn't. You've definitely pushed the envelope a little again. Getting into verse 2, the drums, bass, guitars are all in here.
Take it to trash, everything you said has gone bad. There's no saving this, don't give a fuck if you're big man. Sour milk, sour tongue, sour words, and I'm done. There's no saving this, don't give a fuck if you're big man. There's no saving this, don't give a fuck if you're big man. There's no saving this, don't give a fuck if you're big man. I'm so tired of
Take it out. Well, real quick, let's talk. Is it Take It Out to Trash?
Take
Is that
it
the
out to
lyric?
trash, yeah.
I love it. Okay, I was making sure that was the right lyric. Take it out to trash. Everything you've said has gone bad. There's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad. Sour milk, sour tongue, sour words, and I'm done. There's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad. There's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad. There's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad.
Woo, spicy.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time we've ever said the F-bomb.
Did your mom like that part?
I think she liked that part. I don't know.
She did, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, but in a more poeticized way of saying just over the bullshit, over of hearing the same thing over and over, and wanting something different.
I know I've heard the term, maybe not in those exact, take it out to trash.
Yeah.
Take it out to trash. It sounds tough. I like it.
I didn't even like think about that, but I really like the way, because like it sounds weird, but I like it.
You're kind of saying that first of all, I want it out of my house, out of my face.
Yeah.
Take it out to trash. It's a pretty poignant lyric. And I had mentioned a little bit ago, we get that new low voice in there that you now have let us know that it's Patrick that's doing that. And again, you guys had to be enamored when you got these 30 plus vocal tracks. Like what is going on here?
Listen, when we got them, and then we listened to, like, because they're just like the individual
The little wave files.
Yeah, and you're listening, and there's just space, and all of a sudden his voice, and I literally was like, it's real, he's real. Because like, what if it was just like some crazy person?
Yeah, because we only
Patrick
talked to
Stump.
him through email, and we're like, I mean, I think it's him, but what if someone's really good at fucking with us?
Yeah.
And it's just, and then we'd get all these vocal tracks, and it's just like a cat meowing or something, and we're like, man, we just wasted all of this time and
You
energy.
figure out it kind of sounds like him, but you got the tribute act from Seoul, Korea.
Yeah.
But yeah,
isn't quite working for us.
Yeah, but he sent those to us, and just like hearing those individual, I don't know, we were just like kind of spontaneously or like just randomly opening some of the wave files because they weren't labeled. It was just like vocal track 1, vocal 2, vocal 3, trumpet 1. And we just like open it and like wonder what this is going to be. And it's just silent. And then just sings the fucking chorus to our song. Or like, I don't give a fuck if you're big mad.
Yeah.
But it's like fuck Patrick Stump saying that. It was crazy.
The Fall Out Boy fans are living right now for him saying fuck in the song. Yeah,
I bet.
They
because
are obsessed.
Yeah, because the Fall Out Boy, at least his stuff likes to keep it clean. Well, in addition to his low voice here in verse 2, at the end of the first line when you say bad, there's a slight echo on that lead vocal. It's not as pronounced or as crazy as the first verse. It's kind of its own thing. And we get some backing vocals. Has gone bad. On the second line, there's a little guitar noodle that happens here on this line that, again, is just very tasty, I think, and fits the part. We get a backing vocal here, If You're Big Mad, that happens 2 times. On the third line, we get harmonies, and we get Patrick in unison with the third vocal. So he was doing stuff like that too, where he was doubling up with Brittany, but also going off on harmonies and stuff.
Yeah. He went, I mean, he did like that. That's like that sound that you get with like Fall Out Boy, the like Patrick stacks.
Yes.
It's so good. And I feel like he chooses such interesting harmonies to do.
Unless he really pushes up in that high register or really growls, he's got such a smooth, soulful voice. And when he stacks those, he's one of the best in the business. He's just, there's a reason why that band is done what they've done. He's incredible. And I've always given him props, when Less Than Jake went out with them on one of their first tours.
Wow.
He was in the corner with a, old Mac. This is going back to 2003, 2004.
Whoa.
And he'd be in dressing rooms in his headphones, working away and creating. While everyone else is out partying, being young and stupid, Patrick was working. Nothing but high props for those guys. Also on the second line, I mentioned we get those If You're Big Mad twice. On the fourth line, there's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad. I hear some light synth stuff happening here.
I forget if that was Ben or if that was Kaylee. That might have been when Kaylee was starting to do like a little bit of like some lead stuff. Is it like higher synth?
It is higher synth, and it takes us all the way up to chorus 2. The last of these 3 lines, there's no saving this. Don't give a fuck if you're big mad. It's through that whole section.
Yeah, I kind of forget who did that.
Yeah, because Ben started doing some synth,
because
stuff too.
he did like all the bass lines on synth, and that was like the big like crunchy, which is like when we were originally like thinking of this song, like we were thinking like cool, like dancey, techno-y, bass, crunchy synth
but I think
the whole way
that
through.
Might have been Kaylee.
That might have been Kaylee, because then she comes later and does like the like smooth synth.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Well,
though.
how you figured out who sings where I think is brilliant. And you just mentioned where the Fall Out Boy fans are going crazy over the big F-bomb from Patrick. On the last line, there's no saving this, don't give a fuck. Patrick's distorted vocals are really up in front there. There's no denying what he says there. It's super blatant and clear. And then the last line, if you're big mad, the last part of the last line, if you're big mad, that's just Brittany, and that's just vocals and some ambient sampling and verb happening left and right before we get into chorus 2. Just vocals on I'm So Tired of the, and then when the band comes in on Talk, 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 the drums, bass, and guitars are all in a chorus 2, same instrumentation.
If you're big man, I'm so tired of the talk, 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 of the talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. I'm so tired of the talk, 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 of the talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk.
The bass seems a tad wider here. Maybe a little bit bigger. It just seems a little bit more present in chorus 2.
That might have been a Sarah thing. I think, yeah, I didn't even notice that. But now I'm going to go back and listen because I'm super curious about that. You said that's right at the second chorus?
Yeah, and chorus 2, when I A-B chorus 1 and I A-B chorus 2, and it's nothing that just is like, oh, wow, it's going to blow you out of the car.
Yeah.
The car speaker is going to blow you out the back door. It's nothing that evident or obvious, but it is slightly, I said wider. It seems bigger in the scope of the sound spectrum.
I'm going to check that out later. I'm excited to hear that, yeah.
I can't say enough about the bass tone. It sounds so good here. On the third line, I'm so tired of the talk, talk, talk of the talk, talk. Patrick is getting busier here on this line, breaking off harmony, unison, kind of what I call scatting with singing. And it's so cool. And on the last line, talk, 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 talk. The whole band sounds like the whole production, like you slightly pull back there. Like it gets off the grid a little bit. Is that just everybody holding back? It's really interesting. And it does it at the end of the song, but both times I can hear it.
I think because that's right before the bridge, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So because we're going into that, like...
Do you remember tempo mapping that? Because I didn't put it on a click and look, but man, it feels like it's just the whole band retards a little bit there. It's awesome.
Yeah, because initially when we wrote this song, that was supposed to slow down, and then the bridge section was going to be like way slower.
Yeah,
that
was the idea.
That was originally, and then we decided, no, let's just go straight to halftime for the bridge. So it might have just been...
Like we were still feeling it.
Yeah, because we used the click the whole way through.
It sounds so pocketed if it is. I mean, like pocketed behind the beat. It's really cool, and it sounds really heavy. And this song, first impression, I wouldn't say this song sounds heavy to me, but this part, the way that you guys all dig in there, it is heavy. That is followed by a 3-bar little turnaround after chorus 2 into the bridge. That little turnaround has drums, bass, guitar, and organ. And then when the vocals kick in, it breaks down to just guitar and some percussion with the organ there.
I'm so tired of the talk.
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 I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. And I'm so tired, so tired, so tired. All of the texts that we can't unsend, and all of the words that we can't unsay. I'm gonna talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But maybe I will say what I mean. I'm so tired of the talk, talk, talk.
All of the texts that we can't unsend, and all of the words that we can't unsay. But I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Maybe I will say what I mean someday.
That originally we wanted to have like space for whoever was going to be a feature. And I really wanted it to be like open and flowy, and the ooze, like I really wanted it to sound like a choir and feel like really spacey and like flowy and kind of angelic. So that's like what the ooze are doing in the background, which is like maybe my favorite part of the song. I just really love how it's like floaty feeling. And then Patrick comes on and does like the back and forth call and response with me, which is really awesome. And he adds on all of the texts that we can't unsend, all of the words that we can't unsay. He added those words in it, and I feel like it fits perfect with the song.
It really ties the song together.
So
and
that's the part he helped out with lyrics.
Yeah.
Okay.
He wrote that.
Okay.
That was so actually. If you listen under that, there's a synth solo going on. That was originally, it was just a synth solo, and then he wrote that over top of it, and it just fits so nicely over top of that.
That's awesome, and we're gonna get to that in a second. I know I kind of gave a barrage of crazy vocals, and everyone listening is probably going, "What was that?" But I'm gonna break it down a little bit better now. The first, "I'm so tired of the talk," that's Brittany, followed by those oohs, those high backing vocals panned left and right. "I'm so tired of the talk," that line is Patrick. "I'm so tired of the talk," the next line is Brittany. "I'm so tired of the talk," that's Patrick with a big left and right stereo. And then we get a huge echo with like a synth drop before the next vocal comes in. This part's awesome. I also want to mention the guitar when the vocals kick in here. It's playing a really cool reggae feel. So the whole atmosphere, the whole shade of the song changes here in the bridge. "I'm so tired of the talk" is Brittany. And "I'm so tired of the talk" is Patrick in a lower register. "I'm so tired of the talk" is Brittany. "I'm so tired, I'm so tired, so tired, so tired, oh" is Patrick. All of the text that we can't unsend, that Patrick lyric that finds its way in here, there's a harmony on that. And all of the words that we can't unsay, there's a harmony there. But I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. There's a harmony there, and there's also a harmony on "maybe I will say what I mean someday." That high-pitched synth you were talking about comes in when he starts to say all the text that we can't unsend. It sounds like kind of like a 90s hip-hop sound. Something you'd see in like, with the cars bumping or something.
That's
awesome.
exactly what I was thinking when she recorded that.
Tired, so tired, so tired. All of the texts that we can't unsend, and all of the words that we can't unsay. But I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. But maybe I will say what I mean. I'm so tired of the talk.
She just showed up for like one, because she lives up in New York, and we brought her into town just for one day and just like did keyboard synth day for Kaylee. She didn't even hear this song, right? Did we ever even? I think we sent her the demo.
I think she heard just the demo, but she hadn't heard anything like new about it.
Yeah, she just kind of came in and I think that was like her second or third take. She just came up with that, and I'm like, that's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
It's great, and I could see what you were going for there. You had these vocals, and now you're going to go into this synth thing. But I think it's cool that Patrick all tied it together lyrically here. On the second to last line, when he says, "But I talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk," it's these huge, and you mentioned it before, these huge stacks of Patrick vocals panned left, right, and center. It's like all the electricity is definitely on there. It's very cool. And the last line, "Maybe I will say what I mean someday," it's just vocals with ambient production. Sounds like maybe some timbales are in there too, I hear, like a flourish.
Oh, but probably Chris.
Did he?
Did Chris do that?
Maybe.
I think he must have.
He must have.
Yeah, there's some a little timbale fill there.
He snuck those in. Yeah, I didn't even.
And then we get into chorus 3, the only double chorus in the song. And if you're going to double a chorus, we might as well do it here. It's catchy, and you got Patrick Stump singing on the song, so you know the second half you're going to get the kitchen sink, which happens here.
Oh, yeah.
Which I will tell you, this song from the bridge out, I mean, the whole song is a huge production, but it just doesn't let up. You don't get the breakdown part. The biggest relief you get is during the bridge, and there's still so much going on.
What I mean, I'm so tired of the talk, 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 of the talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk. I'm so tired of the talk, 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 of the talk, talk. Talk, 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 talk.
Same overall instrumentation as chorus 1 and chorus 2, harmonies in the same place. On the third line of the first half of chorus 3, I'm so tired of the talk of the talk. I'm so tired happens twice. It's Patrick panned off right, super high. You get a super high Patrick voice there. And then the back half is another full chorus. It has Patrick and Brittany vocal scatting. Brittany is holding out some longer notes and singing some higher registered harmonies. And the last talk that we hear is alone with some verb kind of off to the right, and the song ends. You know, you mentioned this is a step forward for Catbite. I was really surprised when I heard it in the greatest of ways. I've been saying for the longest time, if there's going to be something that happens for a fourth wave of ska, whatever you want to call it, it's got to push things a little bit. And this track's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, we it's been a few years since we've released music, and you know, in those years, like our style, I think, has just, and like writing has developed just because time's passed, and so something new needed to happen, I think, for us. And I'm really, really excited about this EP.
Yeah.
You should be, and I'm excited that you met Jay and Sarah before they got to become huge people, and maybe, you know, no one could afford them. So it was Jay, right? The illustrator.
That's Sam.
Sam, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sam,
no, you're
Sam,
good.
Sam,
You're okay.
Sam and Sarah.
Sam and Sarah. Yeah. No, we're really lucky, and just like, you know, they're just cool people that, like, we all just come together because we like ska. At the end of the day, that's all it is.
Honestly,
You know?
it's true. It's true.
And let's talk about the hilarity of the Wing and a Prayer of you guys just cold messaging someone you think is Patrick Stump, and this happened. That's amazing.
My gosh, if it tells anybody anything, it's just to do it, to do what you want. And like, the worst that can happen is you hear nothing, or you get a no, and then you move on. But like, you could get a freaking yes, and you have Patrick Stump on a song.
Is it safe to say we'll be hearing Tired of Talk this summer on the Summer Circus run?
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
actually just played it for the very first time live. We just had our first show of the year last weekend, and we played it for the first time live. First time the 5 of us performed it, because we never even played it together before the studio, and the studio was tracked all individually and stuff. And it was fucking great.
It was great.
It was because we you know, we have all the harmonies, because me, Ben, and Kaylee, guitar, bass, and keyboard respectively, we all do the harmonies live for all the other songs. And Ben, our bass player, he did a just like crazy like mapping of like who's gonna do what and what, so we can cover every single fucking harmony on this song.
Yeah.
And I think we nailed it, you know. I'm really excited to like get a little bit more comfortable with it, because we've been having a couple like, you know, vocal practices here and there to just kind of dial that in, especially with all these new songs, because you know, that's a Catbite thing, is just littered with lots of harmonies. I fucking love harmonies. She loves harmonies. We love harmonies. It's like one of my favorite thing when I see a band is I just, you know, especially live when they're nailing harmonies. Sold. Like instantly, that's like one of my favorite things. So I think I'm really excited to get this song out on the road.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank both of you for taking the time to sit in today. The 6-track album Doom Garden is out now. Go check it out, and check out Catbite with Less Than Jake, Suicide Machines, and Fishbone, beginning July 25th in Phoenix and wrapping up in Nashville, Tennessee. Tim, Brittany, anything else you'd like to let the listeners know before we sign off?
Just thanks so much for listening to us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if you come to a show, come say hi. We always go to the merch area after the set and like hang out, and just let's hang out.
Yeah.
I don't wanna die in Denver, die in Denver, die in Denver. I don't wanna.
Hey everybody, the song you're hearing right now is Die in Denver from Catbite's new EP, Doom Garden. So make sure you go check that out. And don't go anywhere. We got lots more Chris DeMakes a Podcast coming right up after a few words from our sponsors.
You may get a little excited when you shop at Burlington.
What a low price! You see that? They have my favorite brand! It's like a whole new Burlington!
Burlington saves you up to 60% off other retailers' prices every day. Will it be the low prices or the great brands? Burlington. Deals? Brands? Wow. I told you so. Styles and selections vary by store.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase of 16 weeks, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Out here, there's no one way of doing things. No unwritten rules. And no shortage of adventure. Because out here, the only requirement is having fun. Bank of America invites kids 6 to 18 to golf with us. For a limited time, sign them up for a free 1-year membership, giving them access to discounted tee times at thousands of courses. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/golf with us. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Restrictions apply. See BofA.com/golf with us for complete details. Copyright 2025 Bank of America Corporation.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Knowing you could be saving money for the things you really want is a great feeling. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This episode is brought to you by Tic Tac. Summer tastes like Tic Tac. Tantalize your taste buds this sunny season with citrus adventure and orange. 2 everyday flavors that bring summer in every. Tic Tac Citrus Adventure is a yummy, vibrant medley of lemon, lime, and mandarin. And Tic Tac Orange is the perfect mix of tangy and sweet. Visit us at Tic Tac USA on social to refresh your summer with Tic Tac.
The spirit of innovation is deeply ingrained in America, and Google is helping Americans innovate in ways both big and small. The Air Force Research Laboratory is partnering with Google Cloud using AI to accelerate defense research for air, space, and cyberspace forces. This is a new era of American innovation. Find out more at g.co/American innovation.
Hey, I'm Chris Fafalius, producer of Chris DeMakes a Podcast, and also host of One Hit Thunder. Each week on the One Hit Thunder podcast, we take a look into a one-hit wonder band or artist to determine if they deserved more success or if they were lucky to even have a hit at all. We've covered When in Rome, Jaquan, Shanice, Yellow, Squirrel Nut Zippers, Jesus Jones, Positive K, Mazzy Star, and hundreds more. With new episodes every Wednesday and special guests from the worlds of music and comedy, we always have nonstop fun, and maybe, if we're lucky, we discover some new favorite music. So if you love great songs and you often find yourself asking, whatever happened to that band? Check out One Hit Thunder wherever you get your podcasts.
As we near the end of the show, here's a band you might not know.
Welcome to this week's Band You Might Not Know. If you'd like your band to be considered for Chris DeMakes a Podcast, email your best song via MP3 only and a short bio to bandyoumightnotknow@gmail.com. This week's featured artist is multi-instrumentalist Todd Capps, best known as keyboardist and backing vocalist for Bad Astronaut. For Todd's debut solo album, he's joined by some amazing A-list musicians, and the results are killer. Here's a snippet of the track, Everything Must Go.
Miles of tiny tiles forming words I've wanted you to know. And window panes of cellophane from the store declaring everything must go. In the glow of firelight.
The Wrap with Chris and Chris.
So, Chris, I think one important takeaway, which you guys covered a couple times in that episode, is, hey, shoot your shot with anything. Collaborations, producers, tours. It doesn't hurt to ask. One of two things is going to happen. Well, one of three things. Either you're going to get no response at all, you're going to get a no, or you're going to get a yes. Those are the only three things that could possibly happen. Why not shoot your shot?
That's right. I mean, the worst that could happen is you get the Patrick Stump impersonator from wherever. But in this case, they got the actual guy. And like I said, they kind of hit a home run. He didn't just sing a harmony in the bridge and call it a day. He kind of did his thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I wouldn't expect any less from Patrick. He's our old friend. I haven't seen him in forever. But Patrick, if you're listening, come on the show. We'd love to talk to you about a song. You should come on sometime.
Absolutely.
Anyway. There's a lot of things about this episode I want to talk to you about, Chris. One, that I got to say, I can't believe it's taken this many episodes for us to talk about this. I love a great woo. A great woo in a song. Like an off the mic, like improv woo. Especially back in the day, if you have like a stop before you go into like a halftime part or something, man, does a woo feel good, especially live.
Well, I pride myself on leaving no stone unturned with going through these songs. Something I did not mention to Tim and Brittany. And if they're listening, I want to mention when we get into the bridge, there's a vibra slap, Chris.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah. It was in my notes, but I overlooked it. So the old vibra slap, made famous in Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train.
How are you going to make a ska punk song that's more on the reggae side like this one is and not have a vibra slap in it? You would just be blowing it if you didn't.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. Speaking of that, Chris, I like what they said about the producer and the person they had make the music video. We all just came together because we like ska music. You know, ska in general, it's niche enough of a style of music that if you meet someone else who loves it, you have like an instant bond. And you guys in Less Than Jake, you've sort of weathered every storm of trends that have come and gone over the years, and you stayed true to who you are. I think of you guys as more of a punk rock band with horns than a ska band. You might say the same thing, but we're always talking about when's ska going to have its next moment. And I don't know if it's going to have another like mainstream moment, but I do think the moment has come around again where ska is really cool and bands are getting innovative with it.
Yeah, and I think that innovation that I touched on a little bit, the production being it, when you're thinking of music in today's climate, I hate to say it, but you're trying to get added to playlists if you're in a band. You want to get added to features and whatnot. Well, your song's got to be able to compete with the next song that's going to get played after it or whatever came before it. You want to sound like, hey, you're at least in the same ballpark, and this track definitely accomplishes that.
Yeah, it sounds huge. There's no reason. I mean, maybe it's a little bit outside of what a mainstream style of music is at the moment, but yeah, you could play this back to back with anything, and it's not going to be like, oh, why does that not sound as good? It sounds amazing. Chris, what is it about ska bands where there ends up being couples in the band? Back in the day, it was Gwen and Tony and, Kevin and Amy and the Interrupters. And now here's Tim and Brit. Being in a band with a significant other, it's wild. I can't imagine it. It has to be cool in a lot of ways, but I don't know. Is there something like romantic about ska music that brings people together?
I don't know. There's definitely been couples outside of the ska realm. All you have to do is listen to Rumors by Fleetwood Mac to figure that one out. But it'd be tough. We kind of joked about it in the episode and made light of it a little bit, but they keep everything in house. It's a DIY project they have going on here with Catbite, minus the fact that just a year ago they said they got management, but everything is still hands-on. I love how just bright-eyed, you can tell they're not jaded yet.
Yeah.
They're a new enough band. They're so happy, and both Tim and Brittany look thrilled to be here.
You could really see it in their faces that they're on the up and up. They're coming up in the world of music. They got a lot of great tours with you guys, including with you guys coming up. That's really exciting. You could tell they're excited. Just released a new album. And that's a really cool feeling when you just released a new album and you feel like things are happening and you could see it in their faces. And I thought that was really cool. And Chris, it is. I wanted to touch on this just slightly more. It is wild to think about writing a song about someone who's going to be playing the song with you. Fleetwood Mac is such a great example that that song, Silver Spring, is that what it's called? Or Silver
That's
Springs?
one, Go Your Own Way. There's a ton of
Yeah.
them on that record. Yeah.
Yeah. But that live performance where Stevie is singing it like directly looking and harmonizing with Lindsay.
Yeah.
It's like, that's such a crazy thing to have such real emotion, not only from the person singing it, but also the person who it's about performing the song. It's just wild. It was very cool to hear, Brit talk about that a little bit and them have a laugh over it. But sometimes, but it is a real thing that you're writing about. You do have these moments that you can use as inspiration in your own band that you're both in. I don't know. It's just so cool.
Yeah, well, and who knows? Maybe that love friction is what made Tim's mom love the song so much. He said his mom likes it, so it's got to be something, right?
I wanted to talk about that for a moment too, because yes, the mom reaction. That first time where you write a song or you write some music where your mom is like, "Ooh, I really like that." Then it's like, wow, you've really crossed a threshold at that point. I know you've talked about it before. Obviously, your mom has come to many different places to see you. Went over to Europe to see you play at like huge festivals and stuff. But have you talked to your mom about like specific Less Than Jake songs that she likes or anything?
That probably would have been more of a question for my dad. I mean, yeah, I know the songs she likes for sure. Mom and dad both were more, they got bit by the live show before the recordings started happening, because our recordings were rough for a while before we got that kind of together. So it was more that. I think it's cool that Catbite played the song for the first time recently and got a feel for it, and they're trying to cover all those vocal parts, which are definitely a feat with what Patrick sent them and had mixed in. But overall, I absolutely love this song. And I also love our Patreon over at DeMakes.com, where you can get bonus episodes of The After Party, where Chris and I will talk to you even more than we already talked to you. For the price of a cup of coffee or two a month, you can help keep the lights on for the podcast you know and love. How was that, Chris?
That was great. We really appreciate our Patreon supporters. DeMakes.com is where you can go if you love this podcast and want to see it continue on. Obviously, we appreciate your support. And obviously, go check out the Less Than Jake tour, the Summer Circus tour, lessthanjake.com. Get your tickets. I know they're going fast in a lot of places, Chris. And, I'm excited. I know you better be excited. It's your tour. I'm excited just to go see it, but it's your tour, man.
It's right around the corner. The first date is Saturday, June 7th in Atlanta, Georgia, with the Suicide Machines, Fishbone, and Bite Me Bambi. Catbite picks up on the second half of the summer run, Friday, July 25th at the Van Buren in Phoenix, and wrapping up in Nashville, Tennessee at Brooklyn Bowl. I want to thank this week's guest, Tim Hildebrand and Brittany Luna, for sitting in with us, and we'll catch you next week. Hey friends, have you been loving Krista Makes a Podcast? Well, spread the love by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Don't hesitate to share what you enjoy about the show in an actual written review on Apple Podcasts. Not only does it help more people discover us, but we often read reviews in the wrap segment of the show. It's a quick, cost-free way to support us and takes just a minute of your time. Your reviews mean the world to us and help us keep the podcast thriving. Thank you for being a listener, and thank you for being a friend.